There's a cheat code to getting exactly what you want in life as a young man, and it comes down to one thing, and that's maximizing others' perception of you. Too many guys are compensating or don't even know what can make them stand out. Chances are you're in this position, but I'm about to fix that for you. You've all seen at least one of those massive faggots who wears the massive gold chains, the branded like Louis Vuitton shirt with the fucking Gucci track pants, walking in the street like looking side to side, trying to see who's looking at him, trying to get attention, right? And if you're anything like me, there's two reactions that you have when you see these people. You either just want to fucking laugh in their face or you want to fucking punch them. But then you see the man. People are smiling at him. People are nodding their head, moving out of their way for him, and he just seems totally magnetic. He's wearing a black shirt that was $4 from Kmart, some shitty Temu cargo joggers, and a pair of old white trainers. With this level of acknowledgement and respect he's getting, you'd expect him to have all of the big brands all across his chest, fucking like an advertising logo. But no, he's wearing nothing extra, he's wearing the most basic of stuff, but he still mogs the other guy in all realms. And that's because he has something that money can't buy. He has an aesthetic physique, and a specific type of physique that gets you treated differently by both men and women is the Vtaper Physique. That's a look where your waist looks small and it tapers up into wider, broader shoulders. You basically look like an upside down Dorito chip. And when you look like this, it's literally wired into people's brains to see you as more assertive, more dominant, and more impressive in everyday life. You know, like all those looks maxing memes on the internet, right? You literally just get a better personality if you just have a Vtaper physique compared to a normal physique. And I remember this exact difference in my own life. See, I've been training for some time, but I never really focused on that Vtaper physique. But once I did, girls would be saying I'm jacked when I looked at myself in the mirror and thought that I was still kind of skinny. And dude was saying I got great genetics and a good physique. And I realized now that it's all because I had this one thing, and that was a Vtaper. So you have the answers, right? You need a Vtaper physique. But before you close this video, rush off to the gym and try and fucking get as wide as possible by spamming lateral raises. There's a caveat to this. And for all you science-based geeks who are trying to put studies and citations in the comments of previous videos, here's a fucking statistic for you. There is a specific ratio that is the most attractive, and that is 1.6x. So your shoulders have to be 1.6 times bigger than your waist. That's going to create that elusive V-taper appearance. And now it all works on a spectrum. Something I've realized is that you can go overboard with this. It has to be that ideal range of 1.6x, or else if you go bigger than this, you start to look kind of fucking alienish and kind of fucking weird. It's basically identical to the spectrum of bodybuilding, where if you have a good amount of muscle, people start to see you as impressive and they start to think, oh fuck yeah, this guy's fucking grinding in the gym, he's built an impressive physique. But once you go overboard and you get to that point where you're fucking massive, people start to instantly just assume that you're on steroids and they discredit the amount of hard work that you've actually put in. But you're gonna be like that faggot with all the bling who tries to walk down and demand respect from monetary stuff. People are going to move out of their way, not because they respect them, because they think they're going to get fucking stabbed. And same thing if you're a massive bodybuilder, people are going to be literally scared of you. They're not going to respect you. They're going to be fucking thinking you're a fucking medical case, right? They're not going to be moving out of the way, looking at you like, oh yeah, like pass through. It's going to be like, what the fuck's this guy? Let him through, get him away from me, right? At the end of the day, we're trying to make people have that positive feedback of us where they're going to move out of their way, but they're also like admiring us at the same time because our body, our physique has that V-taper and we're just naturally aesthetic. And especially if you're not fucking gay and you're actually building a physique to get female attention, which if you're not lying is one of the main reasons. Girls want to think that you were just naturally gifted because they're subconsciously wired to look for the best genetics. And that's why if you go overboard on this scale, then they're going to assume that you definitely fucking did something for that. And same as if you're under, they're going to think that you just have terrible genetics. It needs to come across as natural, like you were just fucking born that way. And see, on the downside of the spectrum is that skinny, frail physique where if you were there just like I was, you know how you're gonna get fucking treated. People aren't gonna move out of the way for you. They're gonna fucking move through you and think that you're fucking invisible, right? And I used to feel this exact way. That's why I created a community where I teach you how to overcome this part of your life and build yourself into a confident man, because it's not just about the physique, it's about so many other things as well. Check the link in bio if you're interested. So now that we know we can't be some weird fucking genetic outlier, but we also can't work too hard or too little for it, how do we actually develop the perfect 1.6x Vtaper physique ratio? Well, there are three main rules that I'm going to breeze over super quickly because they are quite self-explanatory. Number one is you have to be relatively lean. 10 to 18% body fat is probably the ideal range, right? If you go higher than this, your stomach is going to look too flabby and you're going to put on unnecessary size, because remember, we have to be thinking the ratio is shoulder to waist. So if we can shrink our waist, it's going to make it easier and require less work for our shoulders to look wider and achieve that physique. Because it's not just about building the shoulders, it's actually about slimming the waist, which is going to help heaps. And the second thing is to maximize our hormones. Too many people overlook the value of testosterone, especially in the case where we're talking about our shoulders and making them bigger, right? The more testosterone you have is likelihood you're going to have more androgen receptors, and you're going to be able to build muscle in areas where there are higher level of androgens, right? Which is in the shoulders and the traps. So if you can build this area by having better hormones, optimizing your hormones, then you can easier pack on muscle and make it look more aesthetic and achieve that 1.6x ratio quicker. And the third rule is to focus on your lat development. When I first started in the gym, I'm so grateful that all I basically did was fucking spam lat pull downs, because it gave me a V-taper back that I have right now, which once I shrink my waist more, grew my shoulders a bit more, I achieved that 1.6x ratio. So target them 2 to 3 times a week. When you switch your focal point from just getting fucking massive and looking like a disgraceful bodybuilder to actually building a V-taper aesthetic physique, you're going to notice more attraction from women, more respect from guys, and more success and a general magnetism that you get in life. And because it's actually a naturally, biologically wanted physique trait, you're not going to fucking feel weird. You're going to feel naturally more confident if you wield this physique. And you'll be able to demand respect from even wearing the most fucking basic fits, because money can't buy this. Hard work does. Brace failure, or you risk becoming one.